Welcome to Sideline Vibes, the Minnesota sports show changing the narrative of Minnesota sports fandom. I'm your host, Derek Long. With us today, we are going to do an NFL season recap. We have guest host, friend of the pod, expert of all drafts.
I would agree with that.
Whether it's regular drafts or it's drafting things or it's drafting your favorite animals. This guy is one of the best drafters in the league. Taylor Johnson.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. I'm in the middle of just finished a playoff best ball draft, as you said that, so it's actually a very fitting intro. Got a little Patriots Bears stack. If they make the Super Bowl, watch out. There you go. That was rematch. I felt like it was good luck to load up on some Bears.
Oh yeah.
Gosh, it'd be such a fun Super Bowl.
It would be really fun. It'd be a 40-year anniversary of the last time the Bears won a Super Bowl.
And was it against the Patriots or am I?
It was.
They played the. It was okay.
It was against the Patriots.
That's kind of fun. That's fun.
Riders working overtime on this one.
About that, then.
And then, as always, we have on the keys today.
Yeah, a little different.
A little different.
Hold on.
I like the angle though.
Can we hear that? There we go.
There we go.
Let me get your horn.
You're really hammering that ham horn. Mitch Reeby.
Yeah.
Not with us today. In remembrance is Reed. He was sent back home to the motherland.
Yes.
On a Viking ship. It was on fire. Looked like a memorial was ready for him, but yeah, he'll be with us in spirit.
Dogs.
The dogs are mourning their loss.
See, the dogs are thinking of Reed. So Reed, yeah, thinking of you. But no, he's just sick. Sorry, I don't mean to scare everybody. He'll be fine, hopefully.
Yeah, I think he's getting.
I don't know, maybe he won't.
He's looking a little better than he did last week, so we're getting there.
Okay. He actually is really sick, so I shouldn't be joking about that. But anyways, like we said, we're gonna do a end of the season recap, kind of covering our bases for our picks that we made at the beginning of the season, revisiting some takes, old takes exposed at us, and then we're gonna do a little playoff draft where we're gonna draft teams who we think we could win the Super Bowl, and whoever wins, maybe we'll have a little fun prize for them. But and of course, state of the state. I haven't dabbed in a while. That felt good.
I'll whip for y'all.
Not with us today. Yeah, we wanted to have Austin on, but he's on a baby moon right now. He's somewhere in the Caribbean, probably enjoying himself with his wife.
Somewhere warm.
I'm not. Yeah, somewhere. I can't remember one of those islands down there. But he is not here to claim his prize. So we actually gave it to Mitch instead. No, just kidding. Mitch ended up winning.
These are all lies.
Mitch ended up winning. He had 17 points. I don't know if we could pull it up for people to see it, but I'll just go through it really quick. In the higher draft, he picked the Bears. They had 11 wins this season. He picked the Raiders. Not great, but low stakes one. And then the Giants. So the Bears really carried him there. But where he got a lot of his moolah was in the lower, where he picked the Vikings to go lower. Boo. I blame Mitch for this season. And then the Commanders. Who would have thought that? And then the Cowboys. So Mitch ends up with the most amount of points. Austin in second with 11. And then me with 8 somehow with my crappy picks I had with the Ravens and the 49ers. And then Taylor with 5. So overall, how do you guys feel about your picks? Taylor, I'll start with you. How do you feel about your picks or anything you noticed?
One of my big calls that totally came through as I talked about Stafford and how his back was giving me nerves, and I was like, I don't think he'll have a great season. And so now, 18 weeks later, he's the favorite to win MVP. So you can't get that type of analysis too many places. Where talking about how watch out for that old guys in their back. I'd like to see him make it through 18 weeks, and he did that. So I think that hurt me. I think the only thing I had right was the Niners doing better, and that was just based off of like they're not going to go 6 wins again. That one went all right, but yeah, thinking the Rams would be a rough season. Couldn't have been more wrong on that. So win some, you lose some.
Yeah, I remember you kind of took like a fun like Bill Simmons approach to this draft where you really were focused on like being like, I don't know if they have it anymore. Like it might be done. Stafford, like just like bad. You went like a completely like what could go? What's like the worst thing that could happen to this team, and how likely is that going to happen? And so that was kind of fun to revisit that. The Steelers one made me laugh. We went on a big tangent about the Steelers, and you hated that team, and you probably it's okay to still hate that team because they're just
I don't
know how they're in the playoffs.
The Rams one was off. The Steelers pick. Like what? I guess I said they won. How many wins they have this year? 10. And
10.
Their point differential on the year is +10. They about like points scored versus points against. They're up 10 total points. Like they're about as mediocre as can be. They've had so many games that are pull it out at the end. So I still think that team's terrible. Minus their defensive line. Their defensive line's really good, led by Wyatt Black.
Shout to Wyatt.
And their offensive line's really good, led by Mason McCormick, SDSU. So in the trenches, they're solid. But no, Rodgers and that crew, man. Yeah, they just never did.
Again, we said this is the best quarterback that Tomlin's had since Roethlisberger. It can only go better, and they ended up matching.
I was gonna say let's not glaze them here. They got the exact same amount of wins. They're going in as like what the sixth? No, they're the fourth seed. But still, like they gotta go. They're playing a wild card game at home, and then they're on the road the rest of the AFC playoffs. And I'll be honest, I wouldn't want to play the Patriots or the Broncos at Mile High or at Gillette, just because. And the Steelers beat the Patriots earlier on this season, but that's because the Patriots turned it over 5 times. I'm going to tell you right now that the Patriots are not going to do that again.
Sure.
And the one thing
oh, sorry, go Taylor.
What I was going to say is like give them credit though. Like I'm watching last night's game furious because I didn't want them to win, but like their receiver, there couldn't be a worse receiving core. Sorry to Adam, but it's Thielen, it's Calvin Austin, it's Valdez-Scantling they just signed. I'm like watching it, losing my mind. Like, how do they complete anything? You got Rodgers who doesn't want to take any sacks, and the Ravens so credit to the Steelers because it was at that end of the game it turned into a shootout, and I mean I think it was just completion after completion to these literal guys they're pulling off the streets. Thielen, sign him. Valdez-Scantling, sign him. Calvin Austin, scrub. It was crazy, and I'm just losing my mind. So credit to them that somehow with that receiving core they won in a fourth quarter shootout. The first 3 quarters were ugly, but
the fourth quarter was crazy. I don't know why I was tuned in that game, but it was so much fun to watch. Yeah, a couple other. We'll go through like the playoff bracket and stuff in a little bit here as we're gonna do like our draft and really dive into like who has the best path. I just want to talk about my horrible draft just to kind of get through it and just because the comments I already feel the comments firing up. I picked the Ravens in the second round to hire. I had some horrible takes in that. I think at one point I compared Lamar Jackson to Anthony Edwards. That was a tough look. All-time bad vibes year for them. Did pick the Jags in the first round. I thought that was going to be a sneaky pick, but everybody was like, yeah, that was a no-brainer. So
I mean, it was. Duval did great this year. And they they were more of a second half.
Well, you said that just Duval.
Season. Duval's great.
Sorry, what were you saying? The second half of the season, they've been
good. They've been really good. I think when they beat that Chiefs team, and kind of this is the beginning of the end for the Chiefs. I think that's when they really started picking up their head of steam because Lawrence struggled. He didn't look great that first half of the season, but like that win against the Chiefs, I think really sparked something in that Jags locker room, and they just got hot really fast and just kind of. And it also didn't help that not Anthony Richardson, Daniel Jones tore his ACL for the Colts, so the Colts couldn't battle with him, and the rest of the AFC South is a joke. Except, well, the Texan defense was good too. Kind of a sneaky competitive division down there.
Yeah, it always seems to be a little bit.
But what do I
just
know?
beat up on each other. And then I picked the 49ers, which that was a spite. That was just out of spite. I'm such a hater of them, so I feel like they had to be on my lower. I was willing to take the L for that one, but if I had went in a different direction than my Ravens pick, would probably been fine. I think my Chargers one was not a great pick value wise, but we're bearing the lead here though from Mitch to cover his circle the wagons with his Bears.
No.
I mean, you had to pick the Bears, so
Mm-hmm.
this is not like some credible scouting performance by you.
No.
You had to pick your team.
Well, and like honestly, going fourth in division, I'm only getting 5 wins, bringing in a brand new head coach, clearing out a lot of old coaching staff that was incompetent, idiotic, and dumb, and just fill in the blank there with whatever adjective you want to use. So I mean, I knew we were at least gonna get to 8 or 9 wins. I felt confident with that. Anything else was kind of extra. Like winning the North and getting this 2 seed, like that's all icing on the cake, baby. Like I was just happy with a sponge cake. Now you're giving me strawberries and whipped cream.
Oh, sponge cake? That's what you call it?
That's a type of cake. Usually you eat sponge cake
as just call the normal cake.
Okay.
That's like normal cake?
I don't know. Derek, you're asking me if I know what cakes are.
Is that a South Dakota thing, Taylor? Is that a South Dakota thing?
I've heard of sponge cake, but I don't know what it is. I just don't know what it is.
Yeah, that's not a South Dakota thing. I think that's just a me thing. Sometimes the lines get blurred between me and South Dakota, but sometimes there's clear differences.
Yeah, you're kind of on the Iowa border, though, so I don't know. Does that get claimed, or Taylor, or is that kind of like they're like the outcasts of South Dakota, or is West River? Well, you're down Rock Rapids, correct?
Yeah, I'm in Rock Rapids, Iowa, so I'm like.
Oh, that is in Iowa, literally.
Yeah, it is in Iowa.
No, but you were in Yankton.
I grew up down in Yankton, so go Bucks.
I'd say more West River. I think the split's more West River. Yankton's good. Yankton's.
Yeah.
I hate Yankton.
You hate Yankton? What?
No hate.
Oh, okay, okay.
No hate.
Yeah, I think when Mitch says something weird like sponge cake, it's an Iowa part of him coming out because it's the only explanation.
That makes sense.
You did have a spiteful pick against the Vikings, which I'm going to blame this entire season on you. I do remember back I was watching Bailey was watching the episode we had Ian Stewart on, and you were like hate casting JJ having a horrific performance against the Eagles. We were all just like, "Oh, stop that! Oh my god, this is disgusting."
I don't think JJ even played, did he?
Yeah, he didn't play against the Eagles.
He did not. But he's gonna play and he's gonna have a horrible performance. And,
I mean, that's when the Wentz train was still rolling.
Eric, we could have picked the Vikings for the over. Like if we're gonna say Mitch, he picked the Bears because he's a Bears fan. He had to. Like neither of us had the guts to say Vikings over.
Good point, but we know better. We know better than to do that.
Yeah. And I know better that the Vikings weren't going to get 14 wins with essentially a rookie quarterback. I just knew that. Yeah. Didn't help that you guys only got 9 wins. Actually, isn't that bad?
Yeah. No, there wasn't that great value. That wasn't a great value pick. Same with like the Lions. I mean, you weren't going to get. There's no way that team was going to get to 14. So, yeah, no, good call by you, but.
I honestly,
Commanders, that was a huge one.
I was going to say the Commanders one is the biggest upset pick for me. I did not. I mean, you expect a team like the Commanders to get 9 or 10 wins. Them only getting 5 is probably what set the difference for the rest of the picks for everybody else. Because the Cowboys are broke even.
Yeah, I was gonna say you picking the Cowboys, just not knowing that they're gonna trade Micah Parsons.
And they still
Oh
end
no,
up being
do
good.
we know at that point? Do we
No,
know at that point that
no,
no, we
that
didn't.
was not a
I think it
confirmed
happened
thing. Like we had high
right
speculations
after.
about it. Where like, there's no way that Jerry's going on all these Dallas radio shows and talking about Parsons the way he is, and that Parsons I think had just put out his like 3-page statement on like what he's feeling and all this stuff, and
Sure.
the trade had not gone through yet when we had picked these. So
Okay.
yeah.
So you're like in Jerry's. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
You,
I'm on his
you
hotline,
must be
dude.
in close cahoots.
Yeah, I call Jerry
Taylor.
and talk to him about it
Oh,
every
sorry.
day. I'm like,
That'd
what's
be,
up with them
I mean,
boys?
what electric phone lunch conversation that would be. Taylor, do you have any other things that you noticed, like, or that stuck out to you from just like remembering the last episode, or any takes that we need to rehash?
No, I remember the bit like you said, the Steelers one was a good conversation. You brought up how you compared the Ravens vibes, like Lamar's like ant, like just gonna keep ascending, like take over this league.
Oh
Um,
God.
and I think I brought out after that, I was like, dude, Lamar's kind of like his big thing is how he's underperforms in the playoffs. Like you're putting that on Ant. Like kind of came back at like, is that who you like? A lot of people compare him to James Harden, is what I said. How he kind of like, good stats in the regular season, no playoff success,
Sure.
really gimmicky. And I'd say this season he had a little Harden in him, and just in terms of like, what type of leader are you, dude? Because kept like missing practices. Harbaugh was making weird quotes. Like, I don't know if he's ready or not. Like, it just everything was weird about the whole team, though. I'm not ready to put all on Lamar. It was just weird.
Yeah. I do want to go through Austin's too and give him a couple of flowers.
Yeah.
I mean, he was high on the Patriots. That was a good pick by him.
Massive pick.
Massive pick. He nailed the Vrabel. I mean, I remember we were all like, yeah, that makes a ton of sense. His sneaky pick though was the Panthers. I know that from 5 to 8, it's not a huge jump, but he was pretty high. He's like, they were pretty good and competent at the end of the year, and he was pretty excited about them. And he's also really excited about the Jets.
Big Jets guy.
I mean,
Big Jets guy.
if you look at his second round pick taking the Panthers, like the value he got at that, the rest of us, like Taylor, you took the Titans, who was even money, no points lost, no points won. I took the Raiders, which I lost a point there, and Derek, you took the Ravens. So, like honestly,
I'm pretty sure I picked before him too, and I picked the Ravens.
yeah. So
I'm
him
like
getting the
barely certain of
Panthers
that.
and getting 3+ points on that was actually probably high value in the second round, for being
It's
honest.
like freaking David Kahn draft strategy for me. So yeah, any other like regular season things that we want to cover before we go into the draft here?
I want your guys'
Yeah.
opinions as two Vikings fans. Do we think Sam Darnold chokes in this year's playoffs just as bad as he did last year? Is it the Sam of old, or is it a new Sam?
Yeah, I don't trust him a ton. I think like, I mean, I want him to do well, and I think there's just a middle ground where like that's not fun. Like he won 28 games in 2 years. That's impressive.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, I remember those 2 games with the Vikes last year. Like, and then this year, the end of the year got kind of wonky for him. Like their first Rams game, they had like 4 picks, disaster. Defense kept him in it. Even like Niners game, like the Niners defense is a joke, and they put up what they get to like 13. Like it just
13.
I'd say the last he played the Vikings. That ended up being 26-0 on the Vikings. D was really good by the end of the year, but it's 3-0 at the end of half until Bromer threw one of the worst picks in the world. Right, they're like the most idiotic throw. Now it's 10-0, and that's fun. So I just his last 4 to 6 games, I've just been like it's shaky, and now it's only going to get tougher. So I'd lean on no, I don't trust him. But he gets 2 home games, and they're in the Super Bowl, so he's got it about as laid out for him as he can get.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah, I don't trust him if he has to like lead a drive, like you're in a down or like a negative game script, I would be a little nervous if I'm a Seattle fan. But I feel like for the most part, they've done a good job of like really not hiding him, but like making it really like putting him in places where he's not going to make a lot of mistakes. Like with the 49ers game, it's like they just hammered the ball, ran the ball, quick, like a lot of quick game, but their whole thing is like they're super aggressive down the field, like one of the most aggressive teams easily that's left in the playoffs, like throwing the deep ball, and that even intermediate and like they lead the league and all that, but like that scares me. But it's not something that they rely on and need to do. So I don't know. It's kind of
That's what's changed, and that's why they've
it's stressful though.
Early in the year, they go play action, and then that goes deep, and they had to run the ball. And early on, teams were like kind of selling out for the run. Okay, play action works. Second half of the year, teams have kind of just said like, we're gonna go ahead and run it. Like we're not gonna. So the shift has been teams kind of recognizing what they're doing and saying, we're not gonna sell out for the run. We'll let you get, we'll see if you can continue running it on us, but we're really gonna we're not giving up the big plays anymore. And I think that's that's been a big sticking point for their offense, where I think the jury's a little bit out on them. And so now we'll see if they can combat that, I guess.
Yeah, no, I agree.
No, I just had to ask because I mean, yeah, Seattle's. I will say, as a Bears fan, like looking at the NFC playoffs, like the Seattle defense is one of the scariest ones. Like that's one I do not want to play. Like if we can avoid that and meet up with like a 49ers or even I don't know who else is in the playoff picture, but like, you know what I mean? Like Seattle's not the team I want to play, especially having to go to Seattle because the rest of the playoffs are going to run through Seattle. The nice thing about being a Bears fan this year is as long as we can avoid playing Seattle, the rest of our games are at home. So,
yeah.
And I'll be honest, Chicago in January, not a place you want to play. It's cold, especially when we forget to turn the heaters on for a team.
Yeah, your field's a little ripe this time of year.
Yeah, a little bit.
I'm excited for that Chicago Green Bay game.
I know, part 3.
An all-timer. Yeah. It's one of the most important Green Bay Chicago games of all time.
I don't know if I'd say that. If this was
how many times do you think did you guys listen to the Simmons podcast today? How many times have they met in the playoffs?
I have not listened to the Simmons podcast today. How many?
2 times is all. And they've both been in the NFL.
2.
You think about 2 total is all. Like 1940s was one, and then 2011, that color year when he got hurt. So
really,
it's crazy that it's only the 3rd time they've ever played in playoffs. So it might be the big. I mean, the NFC Championship game would be bigger, but Cutler was going in with an injury, and that kind of became a joke of a game. That was NFC Championship. But other than that, it probably is one of the biggest, with only the 3rd time they played in playoffs.
That's crazy. I would have put way more. I would have guessed way more.
Oh, yeah.
But
absolutely, you think 6 out of 16 teams, 7 out of 16 teams make it now each year, and they've been in the NFC their whole, like both of them. It's only, I don't know, that's wild that it only worked out that way.
Well, I'm sure it's always been like Packers have been like on the top and the Bears have been on the bottom, or flip flop it with the Bears being towards the top of it and the Packers being on the bottom. And the Vikings are historically like have a very high win percentage, so
competitive, yeah.
It's just the lines that have always.
We also have an extra wild card spot now, which that leads to more
matchups,
more odds of them matching up with each other. But well, should we get into it? We have a idea here for trying to pick a draft order, because it's gonna be crucial. We're gonna pick 2 teams from each conference. Mitch, I don't know if you want to pull up the NFL.com playoff bracket so we can show the viewers so they can kind of get a visual if they want to watch it and see it.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's possible, but
yeah. Oh yeah. No, we'll get there. Just because Reed's gone doesn't mean I can't do stuff. I
believe.
We are trying to guess which year CJ Ham had his highest rushing total for yards. So I'm gonna Google that and then I'm popping back over. I did not see it. So what do we think? As Taylor is the guest of the show, we will let you go first, and Derek,
Okay.
you can guess second, and I will guess third.
Oh, we weren't just gonna say it at the same time.
Well, because then if we pick the same year, then that won't help us at all.
Okay. All right, Taylor, you guess.
I'll go with a solid. Just throw out a 2019. Put the 2019 in there.
Okay.
I don't really give him the ball as much the last few years, it feels like. So I'm going back a little bit, but I don't know.
What year did we make it to? Oh, I can't do that. Why am I blanking? I'm gonna say 20. 20. I'm gonna say 2020.
2020.
COVID year.
Okay. I thought you were almost going to take mine. I'm guessing 2017.
Okay. I was going to say 2017.
Yeah. Okay. Taylor at
2019.
2019. Derek at 2020. Me at 2017. Oh, man.
What are we looking for here?
Oh, man. Can you see that?
So, wait, what are we doing? Rushing yards or?
Yeah, I said,
yards?
Yeah, rushing yards.
Rushing yards? Oh, I would have changed my answer then.
Oh, okay. All right, so in 2017, CJ Ham had 17 yards of rushing, which doesn't make sense, but, whatever.
2019 that you're highlighting?
Yeah.
Oh.
He had played 16 games, 7 carries, 17 yards rushing.
So what 2020? I can't read that. 10?
2020, he had 18 yards. And then 2017, he had 13. So, Derek,
So I was right.
You will go first.
21's the answer with 34 yards. I would guess it was longer. He had a 30-yard run in 2021. Dang. We have pulled it.
That's surprising. I thought he would have.
I thought he'd have more.
I thought he would have way more rushing yards than that. But he just pounds the rock.
I guess.
He's a short yards guy. And he has a lot of receiving yards, doesn't he?
No. His highest is 17. And he did it twice in 2019 and 2021.
Oh, I feel like we would check down to him all the time.
He got 26.
I feel like he had the ball like once a game.
Shoot.
19, he had 150 yards.
Yeah. No, I was looking at I was looking at receptions. That's my bad. Yeah. In 2019, almost 150 yards.
Receptions.
Yeah. Because he got
yards.
17 receptions. Yeah. 26 targets.
Gosh.
Crazy amount.
A lot of pressure for this number one pick here.
Anyway. Yeah. We'll hop back.
Do I get the number one pick?
Derek, do you want to walk through the audience on how this draft, how we're scoring this draft and everything like that?
Yeah. So hold on, it's me, Taylor, and then you, Mitch.
Yep.
Okay. I guess how we're going to score it is like if your team gets a win, you get a point.
Okay.
Okay. We could do like based on. I mean, we could do based on like what if they get a win in the divisional round, they get 2 points. But does that really matter?
No,
like if you just a win, you move on. So
yeah, and if your team gets eliminated, you're not deducted points. You're screwed moving forward.
You just don't get any points. Yeah, so that's as simple as that. We were doing you have to pick 2 AFC and 2 NFC teams. So you can pick them however you want. That's how I'm just kind of want to do it. So you can take your 2 NFC teams right away, or you can alternate, or you can do 2 however you want to do it. But yeah, first pick here. Any questions, guys? No, we're good.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
Gosh, it's just tough. I didn't want to be the first pick. I'm not gonna lie. This is so stupid. Should I just not overthink it?
Don't overthink it, Derek.
No, you don't get now. Okay, so do we automatically get if you are into the divisional round, you get the first round bye? Do you get a point for that?
No, part of the strat.
Okay, so
being the higher seed, you're more likely to make it to the Super Bowl, so you shouldn't be rewarded with more points because of that. It's like a betting line, right? Because like the Broncos are gonna have a lower betting line or lower payout for winning the Super Bowl than someone like the Buffalo Bills at this point in the season.
This is another dumb question. Maybe do they reseed it too after the first?
Yeah.
They reseed it. So like Buffalo beats Jacksonville for whatever reason, they would, I guess they would still play the.
They'll go to Denver unless the Chargers or unless the Chargers win, then the Chargers would have to go to Denver.
Okay, so I'm trying to like map it out in my head here. God, the AFC is just a freaking. That's gonna just be a mess. I might just have to play it easy. I mean, I'm gonna. Might be stupid. I'm gonna take the Rams.
Not a stupid pick.
That's not a good pick.
No, that is a good pick.
Okay,
that's a good pick. They're favored by 11 in the first round. They got a bye.
Yeah, so like, you should win that first one at least, so I get that point. And then if they do happen to match up here with Seattle, I feel like they have a really good chance to beat them. Versus if I would have picked like a Buffalo or Jacksonville on the other side, and yeah, I feel more comfortable, the most comfortable with them winning. And I want to get a point. I want to get a point in the first round. I don't want to pick the Broncos and miss out on a point in this first round.
Too bad the Ravens aren't in this.
Too bad. God, that logo's so sick. I would have been like, oh, Lamar Jackson, Anthony Edwards. I got to pick them. So yeah, Rams. I've loved them all year.
Rams a slam dunk. Rams is they're the one. They are probably the most like complete, I would say. Now they have question marks, but at least like they had stars all over, and their path is going to be a little tougher now that they might have to go 3 straight road games.
Yeah, and their defense is young and it's good. Like
their D-line's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just feel like their path to get to the conference finals their conference championship is potentially easier.
Their first round's easy. Then they're gonna have to go road unless in the championship game they play the Packers or the Niners. They'd get a host.
Sure.
But is playing at SoFi at home really a home game?
I'm gonna go. I'll go Patriots. I'll only like a 3-point spread, so I don't know if they're a slam dunk to win. There aren't, but I don't know. They're playing well. I like the vibes. I like Drake May. I like the defense. I don't think I'm overly. Rams is who I would have taken 1, and after that, I think there's probably 8 teams here, and it's all going to be one and the same. But
yeah,
I'll go with the other MVP candidate. You took Stafford. I'll take May at 2.
Yeah, I mean that's Chargers matchup scares me just because I just feel like they just muck it up. They just really do a good job mucking it up. So Harbaugh, I don't know.
Are you saying that the Chargers are going to somehow win it, or that the Chargers are going to somehow blow it? Because I don't like how.
Yeah, sorry.
I was gonna say I don't like how the Chargers match up against the Patriots as is. Like I think the Patriots are going to curb stomp the Chargers.
I don't know. I mean, I don't think anyone can just curb stomp the Chargers. I think they just will muck it up enough where it's like it's going to be at least a 1-score game.
I guess I should ask: is Diggs playing or no?
Yeah, I think the NFL, you look at like Rasheed, all these situations, Rasheed Rice, etc. Like when those like allegations come out, it takes the NFL like
a long time
to play out. They let it play out, and it's even like the Addison thing. The Addison thing happened off-season and a half ago, and it was this year. He got suspended 3 games. Yeah, it usually takes a good 12 to 18 months because they kind of let the courts and all that play out before they'll put anything down. So I don't think the Barmore or the Diggs thing will come to play this year.
Cool. So yeah, then I would take the Patriots to win by a good amount. I just don't think
no one's worried about like his first playoff action.
No.
Drake May.
No.
Okay. Pretty stone cold this year.
I was gonna say I'm a big enough Bears fan to admit.
How many big games has he played
Drake
in?
May is.
Though? Has he played in a lot of big games?
I would say only against Buffalo. And he split.
And then they had the Baltimore primetime game. He was pretty good, but it's just been those this year.
So
what is it?
Not in the playoffs.
I think he's only won was it 4 games against teams with winning records though? That is something to think about.
Yeah.
Like they had
they're not.
a pretty fourth place easy schedule. But again, the Bears had the same thing, so it's pretty tough for me
But
to
if they
sit
can
here.
get
Yeah.
It's a great pick because of the path that they could be on here too. It's like Houston, Pittsburgh. For some reason, that does neither of those teams. I'm more scared about the Chargers for some reason, because like Herbert has a little bit more juice. Than Rodgers and
hasn't he
Stroud,
been
but
injured?
Anyway,
Injured all season though.
yeah, but I'm not too worried about that. Everyone's all banged up.
Yeah,
You can get out there and play.
That's true. That's true.
All right, Mitch, you're up here.
Obviously you gotta go Bears again. Taking Chicago.
Would we have it's a good pick. Underdog 2 seed.
Underdog 2 seed. Nobody believes in us.
Yeah.
Nobody believes in us, Bears. They do have some of the best, like looking over in the NFC, they do have, I would say, the best vibes out of any of the teams. Carolina's kind of fun because it's just like, oh, yeah, we're here.
Yeah.
Seattle's kind of like a good story, too.
I would say, besides the Rams, Seattle's defense is what scares me the most about them. But again, Sam Darnold is playing as their quarterback, so I'm kind of with you guys. I don't know how much I trust him. Although JSN is scary, and their duo running back situation is elite.
Solid.
And obviously, Mike McDonald knows his defense because he had the Ravens in like what second NFL defense, and he left, and now they're like 20th in defense. So it's just
sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I think with as banged up as the Packers are, I don't think they're the Packers of earlier this season. And I mean, that sucks. I'd rather play the Packers at their best and get beat than play a injured Packers team.
That's a wild statement. You'd rather lose to a full. I'd much rather win against.
That's true.
Yeah. In the playoffs. I'm not trying to. I'm glad you're at full health and we lost. No. Like you're in the playoffs. Just win, baby. It's not about
just win, baby.
Yeah, but I'm tired of hearing Packers moan and complain about how we're injured. We're blah blah blah. I'm like, oh, when the Bears do that, we're a bunch of losers. But when you do it, it's legitimate. Dumb.
I wouldn't worry about it.
Also, as a Bears fan, we've been called frauds all year, so I just can't wait to keep proving people wrong.
That'd be great.
Here's what I'll say to the Packers fans out there.
Oh, careful.
Imagine being in a fan base where
careful.
35 straight years. Think about this. 35 straight years. They were blessed with 2 of the top 10 quarterbacks of all time, right? Imagine that, where if I went into a coma right now and I woke up at 75 and people were like, hey, what did I miss with the Vikings? We had 2 of the top 5 quarterbacks. 2 of the top 10 quarterbacks ever for the last 35 years. You missed it. I'd be like, I bet the Vikings won 8 championships. Are we rolling? Imagine only winning 2 championships in that time, making 3 Super Bowls. I've had to, you know what? Sure, have the Vikings won one? No, we haven't. Fine. But I'm watching Christian Ponder, Tavares Jackson, rest in peace. I'm watching JJ this year, McCarthy. Like if I'm watching Rodgers and Favre for 35 straight years and I get 2 Super Bowls out of it, I'm rolling. I'm miserable. I'm miserable. So you know what? I'm blessed. I'm not a Packers fan because I didn't have to endure heartbreak after heartbreak and overrated over and over. So you know what? Don't let the Packers fans get to you. They're delusion. They have it worse than probably all of us.
I was gonna say
having to live the rest of their life.
You just lost Bailey. You just lost Bailey as a fan.
Only 2 Super Bowls, and we had 2 of the top 10 quarterbacks ever for 35 straight years. That's tough.
If Halsey's listening anymore, he's definitely tuned out. Counterpoint: if I woke up from a coma and they told me the Vikings won a Super Bowl, I would probably go back into a coma. So
we're gonna get one. We're gonna get one.
Yeah. That would be their counterpoint. I could tell.
That'd be the old narrative would be that would happen. The new narrative is we're positive. We're gonna get one.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm positive we're gonna get one. I'm just saying I'd be so happy that I would bump my head and go back into a coma.
Got you. You wouldn't be greedy.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
No.
Like, I was in a coma while they won the Super Bowl. I have to be in a coma to win the next one.
Take one for the team, you know.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's my job. That's my job.
All right,
Mitch, we'll do a little wraparound.
Okay,
we'll give you a little
wraparound
here.
Snake draft. Excellent.
I mean, you can give yourself a wraparound here, but
I'm okay. I'm gonna pass on that.
Oh, you don't want it? Okay, I'm up.
No, this is a joke.
Oh,
it's a joke.
I think you thought you were making a weird joke.
Yeah, I thought you were making a sex joke.
Oh no, I was just telling you have the wraparound here.
Yeah,
you have the wraparound.
I don't want to pick overvalue at this spot. So
the Ravens are not on the board.
Yeah, I know. Trust me, I'm not you. I think
They would have snuck in the playoffs if you had a chance.
I'm gonna take. I'm gonna take Seattle. Those are my two NFC teams, Chicago and Seattle.
My team's taking your team down after we beat Carolina.
Okay, we'll see. This is true. This will make playoff watching a lot more fun because I'm like,
it's gonna be so much fun.
It's gonna suck when the Bears play the Seahawks, though. I'm gonna be like, well, I'm screwed either. I'm gonna get a point, but I'm gonna
cheer for your team.
Right. Yeah, obviously,
you're not trying to win this. You're having some. I'm starting to question your fandom with some of these claims.
Yeah.
Like, you'd rather
you're like the guy
contest versus just your team winning the Super Bowl. You'd rather lose to teams at full strength.
Listen, Taylor. This is a weird spot for me as a Bears fan. I'm so used to just sucking the entire time that I'm not used to actually being good.
Knowing Mitch, he probably already bet like the Packers winning the Super Bowl just so if they do, he'd like win some sort of something.
Win $10,000.
He's like the guy that sat in front of me during the Timberwolves playoff run during the Western Conference Finals. No, the year before, the first time we were there.
Mm-hmm.
And he was so happy that Luka like helped him get to his parlay, and he was the only person in the whole arena going, yes! And he turns around, he's like, I had my parlay. And I think everybody in that section, I think one guy was about to throw a beer all over him. He's like, dude, get out. Like, what are you doing? Mitch would be that guy.
No.
Like, yeah, my parlay.
No. See, I'll get excited about a parlay at like a casino. Because like amongst other gamblers. I'm not gonna get excited about a parlay at a Timberwolves game because especially if it's against a team that's playing the Wolves.
It was directly after the Lucas step back over Gobert. The guy went, yes. He hit the parlay. He hit my parlay.
I would have done a small little like fist bump between my legs. I've been like, sweet. I wouldn't even said sweet. I just would have been like, yes. And then
I'm a big believer in the win-win bet though, but it would never be on.
You are. Yeah,
your team might lose. Like that's dumb. But if I go into things being like, I will be so happy if the Vikings, if they were in the Super Bowl, I'll be so happy if they win. How much would I want to put down on the opposing team so that if they lose, I still feel okay? At least there's some consolation. I'm not celebrating, but it's not in a parlay because I could still lose.
Right.
But it's just a straight up money line. Like, all right, Vikings, Bills. Yeah, I'll throw. Kind of figure out the worth of like how much would it be all right to lose where I wouldn't even think about the money and the Vikings win the championship. I'm happy, and at least there's a little consolation.
If that doesn't
come into the
Taylor's the king of the emotional hit. Yep. You're the person I learned what the emotional hedge was.
Yep. I'm going. Speaking of Bills, give me the best quarterback in the NFL. All right. Well, we're gonna just see if there's ever a year, Josh Allen, that the red carpet's been laid out for you. I mean, you look at who you're going against this year in the AFC. It's this year. The issue is he has nobody to throw to, and his defense might be pretty bad. So I'm not definitely confident, but I'm gonna I'll have the best player on the field every game. And we'll see how far that takes me.
Gosh darn it. I really wanted to take Buffalo. Dang it.
That's like a team of destiny pick right there.
Yeah.
I was waiting. If I was so quick, whatever you're gonna say, if you didn't say the Bills, I was gonna be like Bills right away before you even finished your.
You're kind of a Jags guy. You're kind of. Would you go against your Jags? I thought.
No.
Some good Jags karma this year.
I know, but I like the story. If you're thinking of the story here, I like the Jags story, but I still think they have a bigger window right now than like the Bills. Like this is like all like you said, the carpet's laid out, Josh Allen. Like it's your time to step up and at least get to that Super Bowl.
There's
the Bills are in their last. Yeah.
There's no
Sorry
Lamar.
to go,
There's
Mitch.
no Patrick Mahomes. There's no like when you're talking quarterbacks you're going against that have experience. It's Herbert, Rodgers, and J-Lo or Trevor. J-Lo. Whoa.
J-Lo.
Wow. Wow. Where is that from? Trevor Lawrence. Like, those are your experienced guys, and you're going against.
Wait, Mitch, do you call him you call Jordan Love J-Lo?
No, I don't. I just call him Jordan.
Okay.
Or Love. Never Jordan Love, but just Love.
I saw that on ESPN and it just made me irate. I don't know why.
I forget what episode it was, but I talked about how they call him J-Lo, and you guys are like, "What are you talking about?"
You did say that. I'm like, "What do you?" That makes me. You can't just like give somebody a nickname. You can give somebody a nickname, but you can't give somebody else's nickname.
Yeah.
Just like that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
That'd be like me calling Aaron Rodgers A-Rod.
Yeah.
It's confusing.
Yeah, but people do call him A-Rod.
Who?
I've heard people call him A-Rod.
See, that's what I'm saying. It's like you're just doing too much.
Anyway, all right, Derek, your pick.
This is like like my whole JMC. I tried to get JMC going, that didn't go. But like the only reason why is because I get confused with like people say JJ for Justin Jefferson, and then
he's got a nickname. He gave himself a nickname.
Yeah, but like again, I don't like to use people's nicknames that they give themselves.
Oh, well, he took over the internet. I would say the 9 meme was huge. It was all over the place.
I like abbreviating people's names. But yeah, anyways, I'll get off my soapbox there. Gosh, I've been stalling out this pick because I'm stuck between. I have to pick either the Jags or the Broncos. There's a no-brainer pick between those two. Now,
is the Broncos a no-brainer pick?
Can't you just take them both? You have 2 picks.
Well, if I take them both, then it's like I'm kind of boxing myself into a corner here in the AFC. Like, because
you're gonna have to take 2.
Yeah, no, but I could pick like on the other side of the bracket. Oh no, it wouldn't be the other side of the bracket. Yeah, no wait.
You could take a AFC and then an NFC.
There's no way the Jags can play the Broncos in the second round.
Oh, so okay. I'm looking at the way I'm looking at the screen. It's like for some reason I'm like Jags, Broncos. So they don't play each other. There's no way that they would. So yeah, I'll take the Jags first because I gotta back up my guys, back up my take, and then I'm gonna go Broncos. Like we kind of covered that all. Broncos home field advantage, probably one of the best home field advantages in the playoffs here. Seattle's pretty good too. They're loud, but like the elements of Denver will play a factor. Jags. Yeah, I'm excited about them. I'm a little nervous. They make me a little nervous just because, but Taylor, you're next up here, 3rd round. You've picked 2 AFC teams, so
yeah,
2
I'm boxing out of the NFC here. This pick's ugly. Like, I'm picking the defending champs, which 3rd round defending champs you could hear as like that's a steal. How are the defending champs there? But their offense is such a disaster, man. It's so hard to watch. Like, Barkley is not the same Barkley as last year. Hurts struggles sometimes, most of the time. So I don't love it, but you guys have kind of taken some of the stronger NFC teams and might have had a poor draft strategy going AFC FC right away. So we're gonna have to see if the defending champs can stay hot in the playoffs. I guess I don't know.
Now here's my Timberwolves comparison. I feel like the Eagles kind of remind me of the Timberwolves, where it's like this year they just seem kind of bored maybe with the process of going through the regular season again.
Okay.
And so they kind of just went through the motions part of it, and then they turned it on when they needed to, and now they're in the playoffs and they're like, hey, all we gotta do is get back there, and we have the talent, we have the defense, we have the players. It's just about changing that mindset. So I don't know, it could be a sneaky pick.
I like your defense a lot. Like, their defense is awesome. Yeah, we'll just see. they're not fun to have if they're behind. Like you never want like, all right, air it out, Jalen Hurts. Like it's kind of a if they have that game where they're up 7-10, you feel all right. But man, if they're behind, you're just like it's almost like just wrap it up. So we'll see.
That's gonna be a great first round matchup there.
It's a fun game. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Mitch, got you for 2 here. You have 2 AFC teams to pick now. Between the Chargers and Houston and Pittsburgh.
Man, you guys put me in a tough spot. I'm going to take Houston. I'm going to take the Chargers.
Okay.
That's earlier in the podcast, you were quoted as saying, I think the Patriots, was it boot stomp them? I don't remember the exact.
Yeah, I know, right?
But I think you're on this very feed as saying you think the Chargers will get. I want to know what the verb was. I think it was boot stomped maybe, but
boot stomped.
Yeah.
Curb stomped.
Curb stomped. Okay.
Yeah.
Seth Rollins fame. There we go. Yeah.
So
it's unfortunate.
To pick a team.
You guys kind of put me in I'm taking such strong NFC teams. I screwed myself on the back end of this draft.
I think the Texans. Texans, similar to what I said about the Eagles, like their offense can be kind of ugly, but man, it's kind of fun to have that defense in the playoffs, though. Where I wouldn't be. I mean, I could see them going on around.
Yeah, they could be really fun if they match up with the Broncos too. Like that's my pick, but
yeah, right.
Any good defensive team against the Broncos can make it kind of a interesting game potentially.
Definitely.
Taylor, you're up here. Last pick. You have an NFC team to pick. You have either Green Bay, Carolina.
So I could lock in a point off the bat with the Niners. I could just lock in a point, which is an interesting strategy. But I'm a little more on Derek, your side with Kyle Shanahan. Don't trust him, and I definitely don't trust that defense. So I'm going to go Packers. We'll see if the Packers. I know their first 2 games if they win, they definitely go at Chicago, at Seattle, and have question marks with every team, and definitely have question marks with the Packers. But I'm not terrified of those 2 games. They're tougher-ish, but I think the Packers they're favored this week, or at least it was 1.5 Sunday night. And I think in Seattle they'd probably be around 3 to 4 point dogs. Not terrible. So we'll see if they can return ish to midseason form. They definitely haven't looked great lately, but
yeah,
it was them or the Niners. I don't know.
Yeah, and you actually put me in the most impossible position because I could do what you just said and lock in a point, picking Carolina.
Or you have to take your boy Shanahan. Wow, I actually love what I just did there. I just love what I did there.
You did a mind trick on me. Oh, it's my heart's telling me just like don't do it. Go just take the fun Carolina team and just like you got a point.
You've been hyping them this podcast a little bit, right? Like fun team. Gave Austin props for him.
Yeah. Gosh,
Adam Thielen, kind of a legend there.
I'm also thinking too, and trying to think ahead. Like, if Carolina wins, then that means, and it's a good chance that one of the teams between Green Bay and San Fran can win. So I'm trying to think ahead too. So they think they'd play.
They play 2 or 3 if there's an upset. If there's no upsets and it goes chalk, they're going to Seattle.
Like Carolina versus Chicago. Like I'm just trying to talk myself into it. It's like, but I'm essentially just punting on one of the spots. So I'm just taking I'm honestly just taking one NFC team if I pick Carolina.
Right. That you know is in the divisional. That you know is in the divisional round though.
Yeah. I can't take San Fran. I can't.
I know. You can't do it. It goes against
every moral that I have. But I know they're gonna like make some run into the Super Bowl. It'll happen, and then they'll lose, and then it'll be like, well, they made it to the Super Bowl, and I'll be like, I'll look like such a hater. So there you go. Just quickly, I'm gonna go through the picks, and then we can move on here. So I have Rams, Jaguars, Broncos, Panthers. Taylor went with Pats, Bills, Eagles, Packers. Legendary teams there. And then Mitch went with the Bears, the Seahawks, the Texans, and the Chargers. So comment down below who you think had the best draft. Who do you think's going to win the Super Bowl? And or maybe just who do you think's going to your favorite team, I guess, that's in the playoffs. Favorite bet. We had a whole debate about that in the group chat as well, but we don't need to rehash that conversation.
I stayed out of that one.
I mean, it's just interpretations, different interpretations of things. All right, state of the state time. We'll try to go kind of quick through a lot of this stuff because Taylor got you. We kept you a little long here. State of state, December 29th through January 4th. January 5th, 2026 is when we're recording here today. Vikings season just ended. We'll start with them. Finished 9-8, third in the NFC North. Just a great palate cleanser end of the year, I would say. In the last game, awesome. Jefferson getting 1,000 yards. They were just hammering the ball to him early in the game. CJ Ham, final game. I think it was kind of like a question whether or not it was going to be. And then during the game, it seemed like it was like that decision was already made. He got a touchdown on his way out. Got a standing ovation. Pretty awesome. Defense. Could this be the last game for Flores? Harrison Smith retiring. That was an awesome thing there. Hopefully this isn't the last game that we have with Flores, but he's well deserving of getting another opportunity as a head coach. It's just like selfishly, you don't want to lose guys like that. But what are your thoughts on like that? Just the last game in general, Taylor.
Just always fun to beat the Packers. Fun to, I mean, obviously they weren't trying, they didn't care, but I thought like KOC's post game was awesome, where he's like 5 weeks ago, how many of you guys would have how many people would mail it in, and like you didn't. And so I thought that was just a cool, like those post game things. I think say a lot about coaches, and obviously they only show after the wins, right? But you can still just kind of see who's like genuine and who's kind of maybe a character or whatnot, and like would guys really buy this? And I think his messages are always pretty strong. For the moments that they're in, where like the last 5 weeks didn't really mean anything, but they stayed bought in, and that was pretty sweet. So it was a good way to end the year, that's for sure.
Yeah, I had it written down, that KOC locker room videos. If you have not seen that, it's on it's all over the place. TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, or whatever you use, Instagram, you'll find it. Search it up. The Voyage. This is a little thing they do, kind of showing behind the scenes stuff. But he does an awesome job, like you said, like one of the best coaches in the league at like making personal connections. I feel like that's very important for him. And what's cool too is like on top of that, like he goes up to every player and just like they come up and like, love you. They say it to him before he even gets to say it. It's not him like being like, hey, doing all this stuff. It's like they are all bought in clearly with how they ended the year. And I think a lot of us would have been like, man, this team doesn't look like they want to play football anymore before this 5-game win streak to end the year. And I think it takes guys like a Harrison Smith and a CJ Ham, like being there last year, to really like motivate the guys to just like, you know what, we have nothing to play for, but just like having fun and just like playing one last run. And so like my big question for just lingering question is like, what legacy does Harrison Smith and CJ Ham leave? Both of them played, correct me if I'm wrong, both of them played under Zimmer, and were part of some incredible teams, multiple, I guess, eras of Vikings football, or 2 different eras of Vikings football, but both are known as like awesome people. Both are kind of quiet in their own ways and go about their business. And I think they also, at the end of that video, have a really good message there. But what legacy do you think they have? All time remembering guys, or obviously Harrison Smith, but what do you think?
Yeah. Harrison Smith is legend. I think he's one of those guys where I think if you ask like Packers fans and whatnot, it's like dirty player, like don't love him, like maybe can respect, one of those guys where when he's on your team, it's one of your favorites. I mean, incredible, but he like such a like physical player that I'm sure like he's given out so many hard hits. I'm sure when you're like a Lions fan or whatnot, he's probably had some of those hits, like guys going across the middle or hitting high where they're like, hey, he's head hunting, right? And stuff like that. But when he's on your team, it's like, no, like he's our guy. Like we need an enforcer like that. And ball hawk, like, yeah, one of the best defenders that I'll watch my lifetime. And awesome that he stayed with the Vikings. CJ Ham, great guy. I actually, my viewpoint on him is I had with my other Vikings buddies, hated anytime he had a he's just so not explosive. And like, I'm so anti, like, get the fullback out there, let's run the ball, that anytime he was doing anything, it was more of an angry text like, oh, great, a three-yard dump off to CJ Ham on 3rd and 12. Awesome. Oh, good. CJ Ham up the middle. Genius. Right. So, like, I'm sure he's a good culture guy, but it's not like I'm going to look back and be like, love that dude. And be like, Jesus, why did he touch the field for us so much? Which
he was like a
maybe
Jimmy
not take at this moment. Like, I'm not trying to rain on. He's not going to hear this, right? But I'm just saying, like,
Hey,
anytime he touched, I promise
He'll be
you,
a friend of
and
the show.
he's who I probably texted the most about over the last 10 years, because literally anytime he touched the ball, it was an instant text like, oh, good, CJ Ham, got to get him involved in the offense. Like, just annoyed out of our minds, like that's like he's even out there, period, with fullback, no explosiveness. But like you said, great guy, team guy, Augustana College, local guy, love it. But yeah, definitely wasn't like pumped anytime he had the football. So yeah,
he's part of the South Dakota back to Minnesota pipeline, which is just could be a legendary pipeline. But yeah, I think both those guys are the epitome of vibe guys for sure. Harrison Smith is going to be in the Vikings Hall of Fame, going to be in the Hall of Fame. CJ Ham, you're going to be in my heart Hall of Fame as a Viking legend, kind of like the Jimmy Kleinsasser. Maybe not Taylor's, but he's in my
Kleinsasser was way more. Don't see that was disrespectful to Jim Kleinsasser. Comparing him to CJ Ham, he was a lot better than CJ Ham. Like, we actually used him as like a weapon. CJ Ham was a dump off. He's not a weapon. So
hey, he's like a battering ram though. He was a blocker.
Kleinsasser was more.
Yeah.
No, and maybe you're right. Maybe I'll look at Kleinsasser and be like, yeah, actually, okay. But I have fond memories of Kleinsasser. I do not have any type of playmaking memories of CJ Ham.
I'm gonna try to make like a highlight montage of their best plays and just kind of like compare them there. So,
was this Viking season a disappointment or not?
I said remember I in our group chat, I was like, if they win out the rest of the year and go 9-8, not a disappointment in my eyes. I think there's parts that were disappointing, but
because you were pretty hot about like, we signed all these guys, our defense is good for us, and it was some weeks ago. But 9-8, like, I think like, okay, 9-8, but here's what we know: our quarterback play was one of the worst in the league. So to go 9-8 with bottom 5 quarterback play in the league actually probably does prove that our defense was awesome. Our guys we signed were really good. And it actually makes the season a little frustrating, where had we had competent quarterback play, we're definitely a playoff team. Yeah. Because you look at, and we couldn't have been more average. When you look, every team we beat was not a playoff team besides the Bears. That was a pretty big win at Chicago. Turns out, you look back, they're the 2 seed. But then every team we lost to was a playoff team, minus the Falcons, and then the Ravens, Steelers, whoever won last night. So we didn't lose a bad game, minus home against Atlanta, and we didn't win probably a great game, minus the Bears win and maybe at Detroit, but they didn't make the playoffs. So it was about as kind of knew who we were. Like, we were better than the bad teams, but we weren't quite as good as the good teams that made the playoffs. And that's with terrible QB play, though. That's with like Wentz, Rosmer, JJ, and we saw just stats wise galore. They say this is some of the worst quarterback play that we've ever seen. So I don't know if that answers it, but it kind of, I think where it's a disappointing is our management went into the season knowing they saw JJ. Like, KOC and Kwesi knew what JJ looked like and said, we're not going to sign Darnold or anybody else. And then that's probably a detriment, where when you have all this talent around them, to waste-ish a season with and maybe they didn't fully know, but that's kind of their job to know, right? Is like, well, you watch, you know them ish, and that's where the disappointment comes in. Is everybody's getting older. Like our signings, like our defense is getting older. Flores might be gone. JJ's a year older and getting closer to that ages cliff. Like to not have the answer at quarterback, where you have the answer everywhere else in this league, is such a fragile place to be. Where that's what stinks. If we have Darnold, we're probably and we talked, this year's playoffs are wide open. Like we could totally be like, anybody can win it this year. And if we have an average quarterback to pretty good quarterback, we're probably one of the favorites ish with how good our defense is, our weapons are, etc. So knowing our quarterbacks were bad probably was a fine year, but sucks that we probably should have had a better idea of how bad our quarterbacks were going to be going into the year and addressed it more, I would say.
Yeah. I think if I remember back, oh, sorry. You can go, Mitch.
I was going to say something that Reed pointed out, and he can't be here to point it out because this was a great take. I think it was like week 7 or 8. There was a report that came out that KOC had dumbed down the play, not dumbed down, but like made a more simple offense. And you saw JJ understand it a lot better. And you saw better play from him. And I don't know if it was because you guys are playing bad teams or if it was because JJ could comprehend and make those plays. So do you think going into the offseason, do you think KOC tries to establish his normal playbook again? Or do you think he lets it be a more simple offense that JJ can run and can grow with? And then, as JJ develops, you make the playbook a little bit more complex and whatnot.
One, I don't know if I think we played worse teams. Like the simplest I saw him ever play was at Green Bay, and that game was a disaster. It was screens and checkdowns and terrible. I just think our schedule got easier, and even the games we were winning towards the end of the year, we're throwing downfield and stuff. So I don't think it got simpler. I think KOC knows what a good offense looks like, and his expectation. Like you watch the Bears game against the Vikings. JJ was missing wide open guys on 15-yard crossers, not anything crazy, and it's like. That's KOC's job, is like, I know how to run an offense. I'm not putting guys. I mean, you're an NFL quarterback. You can throw a 7-yard out and you should be able to hit that 95% of the time. And I'm having you run a, like deep crosser just flying over his head, where it's like, I don't think KOC should have to be like, well, let's make this vanilla because our quarterback's not good. I think it's, hey, I know how to get guys open. You need to hit them. And if JJ's not the guy to do it, we need to find the guy to do it, because I don't know, Vikings, like that's been in this league, you need a quarterback to win the Super Bowl. Like you can't win the Super Bowl anymore with like bad quarterback play. No, it's like, well, thank God we just dink and duck the whole time and we had a good defense. Like that was like 01 Ravens might've been like the last time that ever worked, or whatever year that was, 03 Ravens or whatever. Right. Like now it's like, you need to have above average quarterback, and you need to be able to obviously have a good team around them. But I don't think simplifying it did anything for our team, to be honest. Our quarterback play was bad regardless. We just played worse teams.
Yeah, I think it was the Commanders game I saw where it just looked like he was a good NFL quarterback. Like I saw that, I watched that game and I was like, oh, I get the JJ hype now. But again, you're playing the Commanders.
I think they're just bad. Like we beat all the bad teams. Like we didn't look all right against bad teams. Look terrible against good teams.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with both. I mean, I've been pretty on the it just looked complicated for him. Whether it's the scheme or whether it's like just he is overwhelmed as a person, quarterback. Yeah. I just think it was just like too overwhelming. And that's not KOC's fault by any means. That's not like you should, like you said, Taylor, you should be able to hit the passes that you're those plays. He's scheming the guys open. You just need to hit them, and he's not able to hit them for a multitude of reasons. But I look at like Denver. Like I feel like they're like, again, we're sitting here, we're guys on the couch, but I feel like they don't put. This seems like a very simple offense for the Bo Nix. Like I don't. They're not like a throw down the field. Like he just kind of operates like that. Could there be something like that where you kind of like, all right, we don't have a Darnold type of player. We don't have a Cousins type of player where like we can really zing him down the field. Like our guy just does not have that right now. And we find out in the offseason, he just can't develop those like that the footwork that's needed. That stuff is just like not available. Do we pivot to something like that? Like, is that something that like I don't know? It's just something to think about, I guess.
This will be a huge call, and I kind of want to make as soon as the NFL season is done, I want to make this future bet just to make it. I'm going to take the Vikes to win the Super Bowl in 2025 or 2026.
Back in time.
Yeah, no, future 2026, because I think that the Bengals will trade Joe Burrow to the Vikes.
That'd be sweet.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And you're going to give up.
love just trying to predict these trades that.
Yeah. And you're going to be you're going to give Cincinnati McCarthy, Addison, and who's a good defensive player you guys have besides Dallas Turner?
Why would the Bengals ever do that?
Yeah. I mean, Burrow would have to ask out. We need to give him like 3 first-rounders. Defense-wise, I don't know.
Yeah, I was just going through players. You also gave him three first-rounders. You give him, you're basically...
We just talked about how it's so hard. You have to have good, solid quarterback play, and the Bengals are going to trade their good, solid quarterback for
Yeah, but they're a poverty franchise. They suck.
He might ask out. He does have the biggest... Him and Lamar have the biggest, like, could pull an NBA move. Like, great NFL, you don't see a lot of guys pull these NBAs, like, just here's where I want to go. Him and Lamar have the current vibes of, like, it's weird, where now, more than likely, they figured out with their team, because like you said, Derek, what team's going to... When you find a franchise quarterback, you don't give up a franchise quarterback. So...
No.
True. That's just going to be a hot take. You heard it here first on Sideline Vibes on January 5th.
January 6th.
Yeah, January 6th.
There you go.
But yeah, that's my hot take.
No, it's interesting kind of thinking back with all that stuff, but I think it's a combination of a lot of things. Such as like it's a cop-out answer, but
I think it's 100% on JJ and Quincy. I don't think it's anybody else. Like, my whole argument is KOC lives and breathes this. His whole life is designing an offense. And for us to be like, I don't know, I think he's in over his, like, to be, he's in over his head like crazy. Like, his whole week is he goes in every Monday morning and he's like, I have to play against the Bears this week. How are we going to win? I know what JJ McCarthy can do. I know what my receivers can do. I know what the Bears defense can do. I know everything about this team, about their defense. I live and breathe this. And I think for us to be like, God, I think his offense is a little too much. I think it's crazy. I think I watched guys get open.
We're not saying time out.
That's what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what our whole argument was in the group chat was was you saying like he has to simplify, and I'm like he's not going to ask guys to fully do things they can't. He knows he knows billion times more about NFL offenses than we ever will. So he's not the guy I'm going to question. But when I see JJ McCarthy constantly airmail guys, I'm gonna be like, well, you're not doing well. I can guarantee you that, because I'm seeing Jordan Addison have 5 yards of separation and you can't hit him. So I can critique you on that, especially when it happens a lot.
So, okay, this is, again, resetting the stage here. KOC clearly knows what he's doing. That's not part of what the saying is. We said, and I said, and I've said this constantly, JJ was overwhelmed with the process of that. Like, whatever.
Yeah, he's bad.
Yes. So all that stuff is, so do you just keep doing what you're doing and not dumb it down for him? Or if you don't want to use dumb it down, if you want to make it, whatever process needs to be simplified to make it look like he's not a freshman being thrown into a middle of the varsity game. Whatever you need to do to try to help your team try to at least win games. Awesome. Did that come on a combination of like we played some pretty not great teams at the end of the year? Sure. But there's no denying that the process looked a lot simpler. If it just comes down to like guys hitting throws and not hitting throws, like what's the point?
My thing is like KOC do that. KOC wasn't like, I don't think he had this flash, like every week he was like, I know if he knew JJ was in over his head week 4, going into week 5, he's like, all right, this hasn't looked good. I'm going to make things as easy as I can for him while still trying to win. It's not like he had this like, you know,
he did say that.
Now I'm really gonna, I don't think he had a direct quote where it's like, I made things really simple. I mean, like every week's a different game plan and stuff, but to think KOC was like, just had this like, you know what? Now's the week though that like let's really make it simple.
I think they had to. I think they're like, well, geez, what do we do? Are we just going to go the rest of the year and just keep pounding our head against the wall, or do we just try to do something that's?
And that's the other thing. It's not like I'm guessing with an NFL offense, you can't scrap a playbook. Like every concept's still the same. Their scheme's the same. Like I'm guaranteed the stuff we're running at the end of the year is what we're running 4 weeks in. Like not the identical calls, but it's not like they're just in week 9. We're like, you know what, we're going to totally revamp the things we're saying, etc. I just think the teams we played got easier, and yeah, JJ made some improvements, but again, you're playing a lot easier defenses, and so I put zero blame on the coach. I put 50% on McCarthy and 50. Our team, everything about Kwesi's a disaster. He's a disaster. His whole job is to draft players basically, and he has like a 3% success rate. Like honestly, the Viking situation, that's what makes this season a disappointment. Is it's going to get ugly, like cap wise, guys getting older, and we have nothing behind them coming up because we can't hit a draft pick, and so we don't know our quarterback, and our roster is going to get expensive and older, and without a GM who can draft is
it's like
crazy. Like
the Vikings are almost the exact opposite of the Eagles, where the Eagles can
correct.
draft.
I was going to bring up the Eagles.
All these good players, and I mean, I don't think Jalen Hurts is that good of a quarterback, but you got a coach that can't develop an offense like KOC can. Like if KOC was a head coach of the Eagles, look out, yeah, because like even he could make Jalen Hurts year in year out MVP candidate quarterback, especially with Smith and Brown and Barkley and Goddard, and that offense is loaded.
I just think what's getting like really misconstrued after like I've said this all year about this is like you would ask the locker room and be like, all right, like who's to blame? And every person would be like, you know, I could have done things differently, better, whatever, even if you don't agree with it or not. Like I think they all would say like there's at least equal blame throughout the thing. But does that mean does that mean KOC is a bad coach? No, I think KOC is a great coach. I love everything he does, like his connection with the players, his scheming, his play design, everything. But for this current situation, it's clear you're watching the games. You're like, this guy looks like he can't or do what they're asking him to do.
That's why I'd say KOC makes zero to blame because we went 9-8 with the worst quarter. Like
but
no
okay,
team
here's a
should go
quote.
9-8 with bottom 3 QB play.
So here's a quote. Okay. KOC emphasized simplifying plays for quarterback JJ McCarthy by focusing on clear decision making, playing a rhythm, executing fundamentals like just throwing and catching. Okay, just go out and play. We're going to focus on taking out a lot of the decision making that he's going to have to do. We're just going to demand execution. So he says, the answer is to simplify. I'm going to personally look at myself and how I can continue to find a way to coach the details of the plays that are called and what types of plays we're going to call and how many plays we're going to take into games. And if we need to limit our inventory and just demand executions, we'll do that. So like
so his offense didn't change. He's just saying like he basically telling JJ like don't think about it, just go. He's saying, but like he didn't change his offense. And here's what I'll say:
you can have more consistent formation families and packages. Some things where guys have no confusion whatsoever, where to line up, splits, all those things.
He just slimmed it down.
Some concepts carry over, but you might have to change some of the concepts. It literally says this right here. This is a quote from Purple Insider Football, direct quote from a Matthew Kohler article. I'm just going off of what they're saying.
When was that?
This is December 3rd.
December 3rd. I
mean, you could, I could say,
like I said, I don't know. I believe he said it, but KOC's not to blame for it. Like this is what I'm saying.
I'm not saying he
go 9-8 with well, that's what you were. The whole thing was this whole argument was like, who do you put the blame chart? And KOC to go 9-8 with bottom 5
I think it always is everyone. I always
if anything, zero blame. He did more with less. Like for our team to have a winning record with the worst quarterback play in the league probably is insanely.
But he made a change, which helped. Because he made an adjustment.
We played easier teams. We played easier
teams. That too. But we made an adjustment. We still beat teams that
We almost beat the Eagles at home with Wentz. We almost beat this. Like we acted like the sky was falling when we lost the stretch against the Chargers. Like on this podcast, like we were going crazy. Like it's like the guys don't care anymore. We're like, no, we just got done playing the Chargers, Eagles, Ravens, Packers, Bears. Like 5 almost playoff teams. Like, yeah, that's a tough stretch.
It is.
So it's not a like we react. We're like if we're losing, it's like, oh, the players just seem like they don't want to play. Well, yeah, losing's not fun, but we weren't as good as those teams. And then it's like, well, look, they bought in again. Well, no, they just played worse teams and winning's fun. Like it just sometimes it's you are who you are. And we had a terrible QB play with good supporting cast, and we were a 500 team. So we read, I think, too much into it. KOC knows what he's doing. That's lock.
Oh yeah,
not
clearly.
even questioning him. We just need a better quarterback, and we'll be fine. It's JJ McCarthy.
Here's my thing: is we can say okay, Kwesi doesn't know what he's doing.
I mean, he nailed some free agents, but I think his draft record's horrible.
So you're saying you would do a better job than him? This is kind of like I'm flipping the argument.
No,
I'm flipping what you're saying.
I'm not saying I'm ready to be an NFL GM, but I'm saying I'm saying his job is to hit draft picks, and he can't hit draft picks. He should do better at his job. We should get someone new. I can't do better. I'm not volunteering.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think.
Okay, let's flip it again. KOC, his job is to win football games. He didn't win enough football games. So like that's what I'm saying. Is like you can have an equal blame chart and still be like, hey, great coach. He did what he could. There were some things that were out of his control.
That's not apples to apples.
Okay.
KOC won more football games than he should have. I'll tell you that. I can see the talent.
He made an adjustment. He just said he made adjustments. I don't know.
We played worse teams. We can look at the schedule.
That too. I mean, that helps. Yeah, obviously. But we also beat some good teams. Bears.
One time.
We won before we made any adjustments.
Yeah.
I mean, you're right. Yeah.
I think it's here's my thing is in the middle of the season when things were falling apart for the Vikes, I was like, wow, KOC feels a lot like Matt LaFleur. Like he just can't get his players to do the right things. Not necessarily saying that it's his scheme that's bad. He's just his players aren't executing it properly. And that's not necessarily all blame on, KOC, but I think I would say the Vikings draft hitting is definitely not what it needs to be. The quarterback play is clearly not what it should be. Mm-hmm. Coming from a season where you guys went 14-3 and you had Sam Darnold. Like at the beginning of that last year's season, everyone was like, Vikings fourth. They have Sam Darnold starting at quarterback. You're going to be trash. And then what'd you guys do? You went out and won 14 games. Like that's insane. That's why last season for you guys was huge. Like, and then you let Darnold walk, understandably, because you want to be in on your guy. And what I struggle with is why did not...
operating on a rookie quarterback contract is kind of you need to.
What I struggle with, outsider looking in, is why didn't JJ develop in the offseason? Because he sat behind Darnold all of the 2024 season, and then he had all offseason after rehabbing to be the guy. And it's not like he's like, oh, well, he just didn't know how to run the offense. He watched Sam operate that offense to perfection.
He doesn't have the tool. Again, this goes back to like, it's KOC even says it when he goes on like Paul Allen's podcast thing that he does. Is like his fundamentals and his footwork is just not where it needs to be. And so that was part of why he wasn't executing what they were asking him to do. And that's not something that could just like change in the middle of the year, unfortunately. But
I'm not
also,
asking it
that's
to
kind
change.
That's a frustrating thing. It's because it's like,
why was that not fixed in the offseason though?
Yeah, how do we get to the point of the season? All of a sudden we go, oh crap! But like, does he do it in practice? And all of a sudden the lights are on, and he's just like, everything goes out the window.
I don't think
that would be actually a good sign, because that means that he's just like a rookie quarterback, really nervous. I don't know.
Here's what I'll finish with, and then where I think we disagree is when I respect programs, and it can be at any level, North Dakota State football, Alabama football, Indiana right now, when you get great coaches that know greatness, they have an expectation where it's like, here's the expectation, we don't budge from it. And this is what we get to. And we demand that standard all the time. SDSU here as well. And I think KOC knows what a good offense. Here's the expectation. And I would never want my coach to be like, well, we don't have the guys that meet it, so I'm going to adjust a bit, because no, like I get, we might not have the guys this year. We might lose because of it, but I don't ever want my coach to be like, well, let's dumb it. Let's make things, where we can't be at our best. Okay. Well, I don't want, like, I don't think if that's, I don't think that's right. I think it's, here's what I know works, and KOC knows what works on an offense, and we don't have the quarterbacks right now that can execute it, then find the ones that can, like Darnold did last year, etc. I don't want programs or coaches to ever be like, well, we gotta change our standards because we're just too soft, because we're just not smart enough, not good enough. No. Like, we keep demanding it, and if you don't get there, we change when it's time to change. Well, I think we tried out 3 quarterbacks this year, and I mean, Wentz did all right, actually. He had some bonehead plays, but he's the one that at least was a gamer a little bit.
Well, okay, but here, I think we're like 2 separate things you're saying, because it's like the standard. I think the standard of like what they want in like a person and like a player and like their mentality, I feel like that's different than like your culture is different than executing like offensive defensive stuff. Because you could have like, you'd be like, our standards not met, and that could be just like our attention to detail, our effort, our whatever. And I agree with you 100%. Like, you have those things. I don't think that was the problem with JJ McCarthy. I don't think it was like an attention to detail thing. It was like
a skill set thing.
It was a skill set / like, he just can't figure out what they're wanting him to do. And it's not KOC's fault. That's not KOC's fault. That's what he's done. It's worked clearly, but he was not able to get to that thing. So does he still not meet the stand? Like, I know he's saying in quote, like, we didn't meet our standard. Does he our effort? Does he mean, because I agree with you 100% on that. Like, and you want your coach to have a standard.
Like, I don't think the effort ever changed. I think our guys were bought in all year. We just meet the standard of being as good of an offense as he knows he wants them to be.
Yeah, but is that I agree with, like, the culture part? You got to, but like, he did adjust. He says that he has to simplify. Like, that's what. Like, it doesn't mean scrapping the entire playbook and running the Army offense, because clearly we didn't do that. But it's like they did make adjustments. So that's okay. That's good coaching. That's good coaching.
If I'm a Vikings fan, if JJ doesn't get the offense, like if he can't execute the play calls that KOC's calling by like week 4 next year, he's not your guy.
I don't think he should be our quarterback, period. Like, I've seen enough where I don't think there's an example of an NFL quarterback who ever's been this bad. I want great, like, at quarterback. Like, the goal should be you find Burrow, Mahomes, Allen, etc. Like, at worst, Dak Prescott. And even that's like, I don't know if I love it, but at worst. And if you know your quarterback, like, will JJ improve? Sure. But I don't want another 5 to 8 years of he's average. Like, no, like, okay, now we got to really run hot to ever win the Super Bowl. Like, all right, we saw ish what he is, and I want him, he can compete. Like, we should draft another quarterback and another, and you should always be, I draft a quarterback every year until you find Caleb Williams, like the guy where you're like, all right, we're set now for 10 to 15 years. Sweet. Like, that's what you have to get to the NFL. So to be like, will JJ improve? Sure, I'm sure he will. He's 22 years old. But I don't see at all it going from this bad to like, oh, he's a superstar now. Like, I think like that's, I don't know, like, that'd be awesome if it happened, but I don't. So draft someone else and let him compete at least. But I wouldn't go into I wouldn't hand him the job instantly now and be like, you get another year to prove yourself. Like, I would never do that at any spot, but especially quarterback.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you there. It's always like the slippery slope of like, do we just want to see a little bit more, or do we want to, like, that's, I feel like the Vikings are going to be in a good position where in the fact that they have, I feel like they have a little bit more options, but like it's the time, like you said, clock's ticking, and there'll be a
quarterback draft class, so it's kind of Mitch's idea or bust. Burrow or bust.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, if you get Burrow, that NFC North, you've got Jordan Love, Caleb Williams, Jared Goff, and Joe Burrow. Talk about a loaded division. Like, that's some of the best quarterback play by division basis, in my opinion. Because, like,
can I throw one more just thought, just like
yep,
glass half full kind of thought here before we try to fire up the trade machine and try to trade for a superstar. Could this be a situation? Now, I'm not comparing him to Josh Allen, but like comes in really raw mechanics, really raw. Could this be a situation where it's like, all right, you are honing in on these mechanics, or working through your mental game, how you can, when you get to the, like, can that get better?
If
Could that get better? So he's at least competent in that.
Yeah. He is the one comp who I'd say did kind of look pretty rough right away.
I would argue Baker though too. Baker looked kind of that first.
He was like awesome, wasn't he? Like awesome year one, and then it just tailspin for like 4 years. Sure. I thought his rookie year, didn't he bring him to the playoff? I thought he had one good year.
His rookie year? Maybe. I thought it was like year 2 or 3 where he like got him and beat him.
Okay.
Beat Pittsburgh and then lost the next round, but got a playoff game for Cleveland and won it.
Right.
And it's like, oh gosh, but
whatever. Apples, oranges, whatever. So what you're saying, Josh?
Yeah, I mean, I guess, but he's also like 6'6", 250 and a physical freak. Like JJ, one of his things is like he's 6, like he has none of the same tools. So that's the only other issue is like Josh Allen's definitely a better thrower than he was originally. He's pretty good, but he's also, what makes him insane is that he's also Superman when he can run the ball, and JJ's never gonna get to that.
Yeah, tough. I mean, sorry, not trying to compare.
No, but I think it's a good comparison. That way, but he was a quarterback who you probably could have written off after first year. Minnesota, we're the ones that got him going. He came in as a rookie that one year. I was like, oh, this is an easy dub, and he went off in Minnesota.
That when he hurdled some dude.
Hurdled guys. He just it was
That game was electric.
Yeah. A lot of good.
Good Vikings banter.
Yeah, this is good Vikings banter. Glad we got to hash that debate and I'm gonna put an absolute nail into that coffin of all that jazz. But do you want to do a little bit of the Wolves stuff and just get your?
I'll leave with one.
And I'll let you go.
Yep. Only thing I'll say about the Wolves is we got to quit saying, Croonch, that we have elite vibes. The vibes cannot be elite with this team. When we were after games and they played well the last couple, when we've had after games, the locker room, they're like, yeah, man, we know we got to be better. Like it's a little off. Like it's not bad. It's fine. It's good. I'd say next tier down, but we can't be like, this is elite vibes this year. When we're like around the sixth seed in the West, we're a little, you said earlier, maybe a little bored with the regular season. We're talking about after games, like Ant's looking like, I don't know, man. Yeah, we know what we have to do. We just don't do it. Like, that's not elite.
As long as we have Anthony Edwards on our team, we have elite vibes. That's just where I stand with that. Like he's
awesome.
He's appointment viewing. Yes. Our individual people are elite vibes. You can argue.
Yes, I love the team.
Yeah, so that's why they're elite vibes.
But those vibes aren't great.
No, from day to day, there's ups and downs, there's peaks and valleys, but there's as a whole, it's elite vibes. It's always going to be elite vibes. As long as Anthony Edwards is on our basketball team, we will have elite vibes.
I mean, I can respect. I see what you're saying with that. Ant's awesome, and he's hilarious. But at what point are you going to get sick of at what point does he become when are you going to turn on it where it's like, how do you describe it? When will you turn on? At what point does he need to get to the point where, like, because he even says, like, I need to be better about being consistent about, like, it's so kind of jokey sometimes. Like, at what age should he be at, like I want to rip everybody's head off every night I play. Like, that's the one thing I always come back to. Like, the Thunder don't lose bad games ever. Ever. They lose to good teams, and they kill the teams they're supposed to beat. So at what point does Ant reach that level of maturity and leadership where it's like, we're not going to lose to the Nets. We're not going to get blown out to the Hawks. We're not going to be in a battle with whoever, like Portland, right? Where there's like scrappy teams. But like, I think if like you were making comments last year, like Ant's better than Shea, we're close to the Thunder, things like that, fine. But I can't take it seriously until we're consistent, the team, the Timberwolves. And I think part of that is Ant's got to, at some point, like, every year we keep being like, he's young, it's so funny, which he is, and he is competitive. But I want to, like, we can't compare him to Jordan. We keep losing, having games where 10 games a year, it's like, how do we lose to them? We came out soft. Like, Jordan doesn't do that. Like, Jordan was never like, let's take it off. Like, Jordan's whole thing is, I'm going to kill everybody. And like, I think the Thunder have that, and the Timberwolves don't have that yet. And that's the conversation in the locker room. Like, yeah, we know we don't. We got to figure it out, man. We got to figure it out, man. Like, in my opinion, it starts at the top. And Ant's been in the league long enough where, like, I look at him to be like, do it, like, demand it, man.
Sure. Talked about this on the live show with Andrew Dukowitz. Shout out to that. Go take a look at that if you haven't. It's still up there on Hitting the Hardwood. We talked about, I think our team is just like, we just have a weird personality team, and not like that they're weird people. It's just that we have a lot of guys who are just very laid back personality wise. My biggest comparison to them with like vibe wise is the Golden State Warriors back when they were like pre Kevin Durant, where what did Steve Kerr complain about every single game? Basically, too many
turnovers.
We come out with like a careless
Fiddle
energy.
around with the basketball.
Yeah, we're just kind of dinking around, and they would lose games like that. We talked also about comparing like the eras. It's like Jordan could literally show up.
It was an easier era.
Zero sleep, and beat the Charlotte Hornets and say how many points he's going to score. Different era. Like, you can't really. I just think that's just who we are as personality trait, but I think it can change as you get older. I think we're just still very like, I know it's like, well, man, you've been in the league for 6 years. You should be able to figure this out. It's like, I just don't think we either one don't have the guy that's like a very strong vocal energy rah-rah guy. Like could be a Kyle Anderson.
And that should be Ant. In my opinion, Ant's at the age where he should be that. He's not there yet, fine, but that's where I'm saying. And Russillo says this all the time, and Giannis is there. Every athlete reaches this point to where they're fun when they get criticized. And Ant's going to be close to where he's fun, but all of a sudden he's going to be getting to year 7, 8, 9, and people are going to look, he has no rings. He's never made the finals. And the conversation's going to turn from he's a superstar to he's overrated, because that's just how it goes with everybody. Like he said, watch it with Giannis, etc. Like, you hit your like 29, 30, and Ant's not there yet. And I don't know I'm not saying it's gonna, but if the Wolves, if the whole charade of, yeah, they end up always at a 6 seed, that conversation always turns from the perception of them, because you know how talk shows work and everything. It's like, well, how can we say he's a superstar? He's never made the finals. And that's still probably like 3 years away, but
sure.
I'm not worried about that. He's got to be
sure.
He's got to reach that maturity point pretty soon, I'd say.
I'm not worried about the national perception of Anthony Edwards. And honestly, I don't think he is either. I think he's just going to play. I honestly think if people started saying all that stuff to him, he would be like, all right, and he would lock in, and that's fair. That's fair. It's fair criticism to have that, but it's I'm not
Shouldn't
worried
losing
about
games
it.
fire him up? That you're saying, like, well, if the media starts saying it, that'll fire him up. I'd be like, well, maybe losing to the Nets every year by 20, could that maybe at some point be like, how about when you go home to Atlanta, not being down 25 at halftime? Does that make you mad? I don't know that.
I mean, there's games the Thunder they lost to the Suns. You know, I don't think they're like, we were having a panic over losing to the Suns.
I think the Thunder have lost to the
Spurs 3
times. We're good. We get up for good games.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Like, does it really? Like, that's what I'm saying. I don't think they think about this as much as we think about it.
I think this is also just a bigger gripe with the whole NBA season. I think it's too long. I mean, how is Ant supposed to get fired up when, you know, he's got 45 to 50 more games to play, and the back third of the season is the only real part of the season that matters. Like,
I was worried last year because it looked like it wasn't going to fit. It wasn't going to work. Yeah, like, we were in a way better spot this year than last year, record wise, and
we just got to figure out point guard.
But yeah, sorry, Mitch, I cut you off.
Who does lock in on that? Mitch Shea does. Shea scored over 30 points how many straight games, or 20 points how many? What's his record? Like, it's insane. He's as consistent as he gets.
Yeah, I don't know. He's starting not to get those calls, and the Thunder Twitter. Oh my God, they're losing their minds right now. They're trying to get a petition signed to get better officials at games. I seriously like. There's some guys who are losing their minds, being like, Chris Finch. We are living in their heads rent free right now.
That's sweet
because they keep there's a writer for the Thunder saying ever since Chris Finch lost his mind in that game, he's lost his whistle.
That's awesome.
That's good.
Finch said that he had a lot of people from the league reach out to him, like thanking him.
Yeah. Well, and like I want Finch's energy.
That's elite vibes.
I want Finch's energy though on the court. Like Finch can't be on the court.
That's not his personality. That's the thing, guys. But if I showed up to coach, I'm a very vocal, like energy guy. Like I'm constantly like communicating and stuff. If I just showed up to a game and decide today I'm gonna be very laid back, I'm gonna sit on the bench and I'm just gonna like sub guys in. People, that would be weird. Like I think, or I don't think we would play as well because it's just like not my personality. It's like I think you just get used to the personality traits, and I think that's just how it is, especially in the modern NBA, because it's just like guys wear their emotions in their sleeves. It's just different generation of people.
Right.
That's my epiphany that I made, because this season I'm not going to dwell on regular season losses to the Nets like I used to, because the NBA is very deep and it's a long season, and we're going to get to the end of the year and like last year and be like, I don't even remember losing to Portland. We were losing our minds last year because we lost to Portland, and it didn't matter because we made it to the Western Conference Finals.
There.
But then if you don't make it, you go, well, because we're not serious enough. I get it. I understand the criticism, but that's what I'm just like, I get what you're saying. When is he going to reach that next level?
But to make the finals in NBA, you kind of got to. I think there's a stat that the last, I don't know how many
finals, to be a 1 or 2 seed. Yep.
Exactly. So that's where like you can be like, well, we're gonna make the playoffs and we might make it far, but like it's a huge advantage to have that home court. Like, so there is a little bit of a pushback on like, yeah, we can lose at Portland, things like that. Well, got to kind of have a season where we take it fully serious to be a 1 or 2 seed and set ourselves up maybe a little better than the roads we have had to go to the last couple playoffs. Yeah. They haven't fun though. You're right.
Door's still open for the 2 seed.
There we go.
You're right.
A lot of season left.
Yeah.
All right. I gotta.
Thank you so much, Taylor, for coming on.
Yeah, Taylor, you're always a blast to have on. I love having you on, dude.
Yeah.
Sideline vibe. Love the show.
This is like when Peter Schrager comes on the Bill Simmons pod. Like just like elite vibes. Come in with hot takes. Come in with.
Yeah, we'll push back. Mitch, good luck to the Bears, man.
Thank you. It's been a great
season. Thinking about you watching them.
Sweet. It's gonna be tough, but yeah. Get out of here.
Definitely want them to beat the Packers.
Oh God, please. But
all right,
thanks again. See you, man. Great stuff. What a guy. Taylor and I used to have. We probably won't put that whole debate that we just had with the Vikings on, because it's otherwise we're gonna go really long in this episode. But that's just a glimpse into our very friendly back and forth debate banter. That's just like hanging out with your guys, having fun with your friends.
Yeah.
Staying up late, debating about whose fault the Viking season was.
Right.
Nobody's fault. It's everybody's fault. That's always my mantra. Everyone could take a piece of that pie, piece of that blame pie. Going quick here. Wolves 23-13. Kind of covered them up quite a bit. 2-1 last week. 9-5 in December. Beat Chicago. Lost to Atlanta. Beat Washington. I think the vibes are just like we said, bored with regular season basketball. But my question, is an Ant appointment viewing? We talked about this I kind of talked about it with Andrew. Again, another shout out to that. That was so much fun. He's an awesome guy. Setting that up, and check out the stuff on the Hitting the Hardwood for Lynx and Wolves stuff. But we talked about regular season basketball. Mitch, you talked about just now how it's too long. I agree. Players agree. Fans agree. It's too long.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to change. Yeah. Sorry.
They probably won't, because it's too much money to lose. Ticket prices for NBA games are going to go up if they do that, because there's less games to go to, which is fine. And I understand the money part of it. It's ultimately the league is trying to make money. So, and that won't change. It's just as a fan that's newer to basketball, it's really, and being such a hard NFL football fan, it's hard to watch, 60 plus games. I'm just like, kind of like with baseball and the Twins. I'm just like, what's the box score? How did Ant do? Did he play well? Did he get injured? Is he good? Is he healthy? How much, like, is there any big headlines with the game? Okay, we won. Good. We lost. By how much? All right. That's how bad was the team? Okay. Like, I was like, we're only in the front third of the season, getting towards the middle third now. But you know what I mean? Like, the middle third is where we kind of like, all right, we need to make sure we're winning games that we should be winning. And the last third is like, all right, we need to be beating teams that are good. First half, we can kind of just like airmail it. Whatever happens, happens, which sucks. And like, as a fan, you're like, oh, I should care about every game, but
yeah. I think, and I go over a lot. I like give a lot of my thoughts on this. I want people to go over there because I want Andrew to.
Oh, absolutely. Like
stuff. So I don't want to spoil too much of what I said over there because I want you to go check it out in Harwood. It's on our socials. Go check it out. But like the one easy fix would be like just making the games time wise a little shorter, like 10-minute quarters.
Yeah,
that'd help a lot. Equivalent to like a certain amount of games, so make the games more close and whatnot. Anyways. Another thing is just like I like to enjoy watching regular season basketball. Like there's not like football. I love football, but I'm not tuning in. I'm sorry, I'm not tuning into Saints versus. I did not watch a single second of Saints versus. I don't even know who they played last week. Like that's just not like I don't care to.
They played the Falcons
about that game.
Yeah,
Falcons. Sure, I did not watch a single second of that. So it's like. It's kind of like level of fanhood. Like I like to watch NBA. I love to watch Wolves because I love basketball. And like if I'm watching, I might see live Anthony Edwards windmill posterize somebody, and seeing a highlight of that feels a lot different than seeing like the actual live footage of it.
Yeah,
and
true.
like going to a Wolves game. This is why it's elite vibes. Going to a Wolves game, Anthony Edwards is gonna do something awesome.
Oh yeah.
And the dude plays as many games as he possibly can. He's not sitting out. He's not mailing it in. There's games that he doesn't play well. That seems like he's mailing in, but that dude is trying to do like crazy things on the basketball court, and he does it every night, and it's so fun. He's appointment viewing for me. He's the reason why we got season tickets to go drive down there 3 hours randomly on a Tuesday, drive back home because he's worth it. But anyways,
no, I get it, and I do think Taylor makes a good point where, like, at one point, do we need to have that kind of cutthroat mentality like Finch has? Like, and I know Ant's not like that, and I would never ask a player to, like, change who they are. But I think bringing in someone that has that, because none of our bigs, I would really like it in a big, like in one of our post positions, like have someone that is just cutthroat every night, where it's like, we're winning this game, and I might give you a funny look here and there, but it's mainly just cold stares, just blood killing, just give me the ball, throw it out to Ant for a 3, and But that's my take on it. Like I do agree with Taylor that like I think the vibes are kind of easy go vibes.
I just want to know like what our record, like what people want our record to be. Like it just like
all wins, 0 losses.
A game against. Like I just don't get like I don't get like your team's not supposed to lose games. Like the Thunder just lost to the Suns. We were losing our minds because we lost to the Suns.
Yeah.
Like I don't get the like. I think we sometimes just can't handle losing, so we make up all these like things that are wrong.
Right.
About the team. It's like, oh, the next game, they beat Atlanta. They beat the breaks off, they beat the breaks off of Washington. And it's like, oh yeah, but this, like, it's like, it's just a long season, man. It's just a long season.
It is. Yeah. And that's why I brought it up. I was like, I think the main problem is the season's too long. So it's hard to, but yeah. Anyways, Wolves are.
I just know they're going to turn it up as soon as it gets to playoff time.
I hope so.
We saw it.
Last
2 years ago, Game 7, Denver. You don't think that team can turn it on when they need to?
Oh, they can.
Game 7, come back in Denver. Like, that's what I'm saying. It's like, I could pick a million different things for that, but we just got to just enjoy the ride. Just enjoy the ride, the ups and downs, the peaks and the valleys. Yeah. That's the beautiful part about basketball. So emotional, so personal. But Next game's here for the Wolves will be Tuesday versus the Heat. That's on NBC and Peacock. I'm gonna start saying where they are on so that everybody knows. Thursday versus Cavaliers. That's gonna be on FanDuel. Saturday at Cleveland. That's gonna be on Prime.
Hey,
And Sunday versus the Spurs. That's probably going to be bumped to national television. If not, it's going to be on your FanDuel Sports Network. Check them out. Jim Pete's awesome. Grady's on there.
Nice.
It's worth the $20. I know it's a lot, but it's worth it if you're a big Wolves fan. Minnesota Wild. We don't need to go too deep into the Wild. They had a big week last week. They won 2, lost 2 in overtime. Still third in the West. The cool thing about the standings, the next closest team in the West is 12 points behind them.
Jeez.
That is insane. They're playing right now against the Kings. I don't know what the score is, but actually, I could look that up really quick.
So I could pull it up too.
Minnesota Wild versus Kings. Oh, we're down. Season's over. Vibes are bad. Just kidding.
No.
Vibes are still elite.
We're
up 12. We're up 12 points on Vegas, the next closest in the West.
I will say
we're almost ahead of the first place team in the East. Sorry, keep going.
Small shout out to local bar here in Marshall. Was watching the Wild game, hanging out with some buddies, getting ready to go out to my trip out in Rapid over the weekend. And I will say, the bar I was at, Fuzzies, they have every time the Wild scores, they actually have a siren go off. And I
accidentally was in there one time during that.
I know, it's sick. I was, the first time it went off, I was like, what is going on? And I look at the TV, I'm like, oh, the Wild scored. That's cool. I love that.
He loves the Wild. We could probably do a Wild watch party there.
That'd be fun. That'd be really fun.
That'd be a lot of fun. Shout out to Fuzzy. Some cool things. I don't know if you knew this. A little fun fact here for you, Mitch. You know, friend of the program, Ian Fritz.
Yes.
I forgot to put the clip of the shot or the thing here, so you might have to pull it up on the fly here. Okay. The Olympic team calling video by Billy Guerin, Billy G. He's kind of like the orchestrator of the U.S. Olympic roster. They did a video on FanDuel or for the Wild. I don't know if it was on specifically the FanDuel. I don't know the logistics of the crew, but Ian was one of the camera guys for it.
Really?
Yeah.
Let's pull it up.
Yeah. Anyways, it looks like the Wild might potentially lose this one tonight, but they play Thursday at Seattle and then Saturday versus the Islanders.
Island boys.
some more puck talk here. Frost are 5-3-2. They are now second in the standings after going 1-1-1 last week. They passed Toronto after beating them 5-1. That was a huge win.
Massive, huge score too.
Yeah, huge score. Which led to us having the most goals in the league right now with 28. Again, kind of like the Timberwolves, but obviously back-to-back champions. So I think we're just bored with regular season hockey. I think we're just ready for Olympics. We're ready for the postseason. Yeah,
I'm so excited for the Olympics, dude. I actually saw today.
I love Winter Olympics.
Oh, Winter Olympics are great. I did see though. Side tangent to the Summer Olympics. They are opening up ticket sales for the LA Olympics in 2028 for the Summer Olympics, and they're like $20 a ticket. Like it's going to be cheap, dude. Super cheap. That's and cool. I'm really hoping that is it this Olympics that they're having flag football in?
Maybe. I feel like it is.
I would love to get tickets to watch some flag football. Just because I love football. Yeah, it's going to be in the 2028 Olympics. So we definitely need to go.
Think about going. That'd be so much fun.
Yeah.
Next game here for the Frost. We'll cover some of the cool stuff in the next episode here. Next game, though, will be Sunday versus the Seattle Torrent. So, yeah. Quick offseason vibes. Twins, they signed a couple guys here and got a little trade action. First baseman Eric Wagaman. I really wanted Taylor to give us a scout for that one because he's locked in for baseball. Big fantasy baseball league guy. Best ball, all that jazz. Infielder Orlando Arcia, and then we signed Josh Bell earlier. So those are kind of the three that we've signed so far. Maybe Taylor will comment down below what he thinks about those signings. But right now we're kind of in the January arbitration exchange is starting. Don't know what that means. I wish Taylor was on to help us out with that. But yeah, still some off-season stuff. Pitchers and catchers, opening days, March 26th. We got ways to go there. But Lynx, some sad, upsetting news.
Yeah.
But potentially just kind of like housekeeping stuff is Nafisa Collier having to go surgery on both of her ankles. This reads, again, I don't know. I haven't read too much into it, but reading this, you go, okay, well, this must be kind of like what's it called? Like a proactive type of procedure.
Must be.
Where it's like an off season. I remember she did hurt her ankle at the end of the season last year, but like the other ankle that kind of just like is interesting. So it's like, did she hurt both of her ankles, or is like just kind of this seems like kind of like a related thing or not related, and just like happened?
Could be preventative. Like maybe
preventative.
They saw what was happening in her ankle that she did injure, happening like similar symptoms in that other ankle, and you're like, let's just get this out of the way. You're the off season. It's a 4 to 6 month recovery, which sucks because obviously that puts her back. Earliest is, I don't know, March, April. Latest is June. So
yeah, which will be still like they don't start their season until a little bit later. And speaking of that, CBA stuff still they might be on strike. So kind of maybe it seemed like the perfect time to do that because this seems like the CBA is gonna kind of push everything back a little bit. I'm guessing
that'd be crazy if a league didn't start on time because the CBA didn't.
Yeah, it's happened. It's happened NBA a couple times. NHL had a big lockout.
Oh dang! Okay.
There's been a it hasn't been for a while though. I want to say MLB recently was the most recent one.
Okay.
But anyways, yeah, if you want to another plug here for Andrew, they just do great stuff over at Hitting the Hardwood, and he has the Missing Leaks podcast. People who are a lot more smart about CBA stuff and legal jargon than I will ever be or even claim to understand. So he does one with Nicole Jackson of the Best Damn W Show. Again, way over my head. So I would go check out that if you are really interested in some CBA updates there. But other than that, some cool things. The Unrivaled has started this today, actually. It's a 3-on-3 off-season league. This is kind of like the I kind of wish the NBA did this. This would be so much fun. It's like the big three, but for women's basketball during the off season. So it's like the players playing it. That'd be so much fun to watch. Like Anthony Edwards team up with so and so during the summer, just for some like
that'd be
games and stuff.
That would be. I mean, the NBA kind of does that with the summer league, but it's teams against. Teams.
But that's like more like that's like training camp, preseason stuff.
It would be cool to see something like this for the NBA. 100%.
Or more World Cup stuff. I wish the World Cup was more of a big deal for basketball because that'd be a lot of fun. Now that the world's game is, but this would be more fun because it's like the best of the best.
Yeah,
you don't have to worry about like U.S. is just gonna dominate. You know, little Loons Wonderball. There we go for you. Transfers. We got a couple guys. We signed a goaltender, and then we saw today that St. Clair signs with Miami. Oh, that's a killer. But we have some signings. One of them being one of the better goaltenders, and people are pretty excited about that. There was a little talks of Pereira maybe potentially transferring to an Argentina, going back to Argentina, but I think that's like kind of a weird random rumor. Also, Eric Ramsey there's an opening over in France for a manager position, and decides he's just coming back.
Good.
So yeah, we're getting close. February is when new season starts. So
oh wow, dang,
very
that
quick
was
turnaround because
fast.
it was fast because they're switching that schedule to match up with the
right.
um with all the big world leagues. So it'll be a fun addition, but it really made it tough for the transfer market this year when it happened. So people are pretty okay with who we brought in so far. So
Nice.
but losing St. Clair is tough, especially to Miami. They're gonna be so good.
Yeah. We'll be better though, because we're the Loons.
Yeah,
we're not the Ducks.
yeah. Come on, not the Ducks. So yeah, that's State of the State. That's a lot. Some good combo though. Some people wanted to join that. But we're gonna start a new segment here at the end. Kind of not changing vibe of the week, but making it more focused on different things, and it's called What a Poll. That's what we're gonna call it.
I love it.
So basically, you're gonna pick any topic, present or past, that you're interested in. Can capture your current vibe or just like something that came up on the show before. And so they can be like, oh, look at this. One thing that came to my mind was I saw a TikTok. It was about sports moments from my childhood. The guy that was making the TikTok was sharing stuff that would blow the minds of people if it happened today. And the first one he mentioned was the Malice in the Palace. And so I almost want you to grab Reed and drag him out of bed and have him come watch this, but he'll watch it on the episode. So
yeah,
you guys have to see what happened with this because both of you had no idea what I was talking about. No. And so this is it's like a perfect time to show you what happened. And I can do a little commentary too. So a little background. Pacers, Pistons, big time rivalry during this time. Pacers were one of the best teams in the league, if not the best at that time. Pistons, known for their like hardcore defense, very tough. Guy named Ben Wallace plays for the Pistons, one of the best, scariest defenders of all time. Ron Artest plays for the Pacers. Very interesting guy, very intense guy. Kind of loses his cool all the time. So end of the game, Indiana's up, and we can hit play.
Wallace is fouled, and Wallace did. Oh, Wallace right at our chest. This has
so big shove.
Serious if they don't get between.
It looks like a normal NBA like pushing match, you know. Now pause. Go back a little bit. Ron Artest decides to
part one.
Oops.
Oh, jeez.
Part one.
So
are we gonna watch it through?
I'm gonna try to. Do you want to back? You want me to just watch it and like go backwards or back, or do you want me to like explain things?
No, you can explain things.
Okay, so he lays down on the scorer's table because he is just like trying to chill out. A guy throws a beer at him from the crowd. Goes in the crowd, starts fighting everybody. Multiple players go into the crowd. They're fighting fans.
That's crazy.
More beers thrown. More guys. More people around the court trying to fight the players. And so all the players of the Pacers are fighting.
Jermaine O'Neal right of your screen coming into the picture. Right there.
Oh, what a hit.
Because they're
that could have been real bad.
They're pouring liquid over. What a disgraceful showing from the Pistons fans here.
Kids were left with tears.
It was wild. That is one of the wildest things that's happened in the NBA in a long time. So obviously Ron Artest, I think he was suspended for the rest of the season. Multiple big suspensions for everybody involved in that, obviously. One of the funnier stories though with this is Steven Jackson. He's an NBA guy that does a lot of podcast stuff nowadays, but he tells the story of how they got back in the locker room. Everyone's sitting there at their lockers like, oh boy. And Ron Artest sits there and he goes, hey, Steven, do you think we're going to get in trouble?
Huh.
I'm like, what are you talking about, man? He just went up in the crowd and started fighting people, man. What do you think is going to happen? So, yeah, absolutely. I could not believe that you guys have never seen that before, heard of that before. But, yeah, no, decided, what a poll. What a poll.
I'm trying to find that is crazy. I have never seen a moment like that in NBA. So good stuff.
Yeah, I think they tried to keep it. It took me a while to find that clip. They tried to brush it under the rug.
Oh, I'm sure.
It's not something that they want to promote all the time, but yeah, we'll leave it at that. What a fun episode.
Oh,
A
gosh.
lot of. If you're an NFL fan, man, you had a lot of discourse for that. So we had some debates, we had some laughs, we had some strategy talk.
Mm-hmm.
We had it
Who's to
all.
blame?
Who's to blame?
Good
Again,
stuff.
our Sideline Vibes approach is everyone can take the blame. Everyone's still good. It is
Yes,
what it is.
sir.
Yeah, we love our coaches. We love our players.
We love Reed.
Yeah.
We're gonna miss you. We miss you,
We
Reed.
love Reed.
Please come
Yeah,
back.
we miss you. Yeah, please come back from the dead.
I like just being able to sit there and talk. I don't mind the computer stuff that much. This is fun, but
Yeah,
there was definitely some hiccups that Reed would have just fixed, like, and I was like, how do I do this?
that's why he's the man on the keys,
Right.
But yeah,
Cool.
don't sell yourself short there, though. All right, well, we'll leave it at that. Thanks for watching. Remember, don't let your team control your vibes. Okay, you make that narrative yourself. We're changing the narrative.
We're always changing the narrative.
Always changing the narrative. Peace.
All right, that's a wrap.
That'll do it.